In the spotlight tonight is James Hart from Dublin, an asset manager, and his specialist subject is Lyndon B. Johnson. Tim Austen from Western Green, a student taking the Mughal Empire as his specialist subject. Derek Moody from Warrington, a production manager, and his subject is I, Claudius. And Mary Dixon from London, a website founder with the Just William books by Richmal Crompton as her subject. Hello and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphreys. 4 contenders, 2 rounds. Just one person tonight will go through to the next round and perhaps the final, with the possibility of becoming the nation's mastermind. Sure you know the rules by now. Specialist subjects first, followed by 2 minutes on general knowledge. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
James Hart.
Your occupation?
Asset manager.
And your chosen subject?
The life and career of Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson in 2 minutes, starting now. On the banks of which river is the farm near Stonewall, Texas, where Lyndon Johnson was born in 1908?
Pass.
Which judge swore Johnson in as president on board Air Force One after Kennedy's assassination?
Sarah Hughes.
Correct. What ironic nickname did he acquire in 1948 after winning the Democratic primary for the Senate by a mere 87 votes?
Landslide Lyndon.
Correct. From which teachers' college in San Marcos did he graduate in 1930?
Southwest Texas Teachers College.
Yes. In a speech at which university in May 1964 did Johnson first outline fully his vision of a great society?
Pass.
Which resolution did Johnson get passed by Congress in August 1964 in the wake of North Vietnamese attacks on American destroyers?
Gulf of Tonkin.
Correct. Which newly elected congressman appointed Johnson as his private secretary in 1931?
Dick Kleberg.
Correct. On the 28th of April 1965, Johnson sent troops to which country to prevent its ousted president returning to power?
Dominican Republic.
Correct. At which church in San Antonio did he marry Claudia Alto Taylor, also known as Lady Bird, in 1934?
Pass.
Who did Johnson nominate as Chief Justice in June 1968, only for the Senate to withhold their approval?
Abe Fortas.
Correct. Which Republican opponent's slogan, "In your heart, you know he's right," was countered by Johnson supporters with, "In your guts, you know he's nuts"?
Barry Goldwater.
Correct. In which city did Johnson sign the bill that brought Medicare and Medicaid into law in a ceremony also attended by former President Harry Truman?
Houston.
Independence. In which Texan town was the poor, predominantly Mexican school which Johnson interrupted his college studies in 1928 in order to teach at?
Cotulla.
Correct. Who in 1942 presented Johnson with a Silver Star for his role as an observer during a mission over New Guinea?
General McCarthy.
Correct. Of which bill eventually passed in 1964 did Johnson say no memorial oration or eulogy could more eloquently honour President Kennedy's memory?
Civil Rights Act.
Yes. What is the title of his memoirs first published in 1971?
Pass.
What was the code name of the overall bombing campaign against North Vietnam, which Johnson launched in early 1965 in retaliation? I've started, so I shall finish. In retaliation for the Viet Cong attack on Pleiku.
Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder it was, and you had 4 passes. His memoirs, The Vantage Point. It was St. Mark's Church where he married Lady Bird, and the speech I referred to was at the University of Michigan, and the river was the Pedernales. 4 passes. However, James Hart, you have 12 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Tim Austen.
Your occupation?
Student.
And your chosen subject?
The Mughal Empire from 1526 to 1658.
The Mughal Empire, in 2 minutes, starting now. At which battle of 1526 did Babur defeat and kill Ibrahim Lodi, the Sultan of Delhi?
Panipat.
Correct. Which King of England sent Sir Thomas Roe as an ambassador to the court of Jahangir?
James I.
Correct. What was the name of Shah Jahan's queen, who was given the title Mumtaz Mahal and died in childbirth at Burhanpur, giving birth to her 14th child?
Arjuman Banu.
Correct. Which half-brother of Akbar, who was governor of Kabul, took part in the revolt of 1579 to 80 and was briefly proclaimed emperor?
Mohammed Mirza Hakim.
Correct. What was the name of Jahangir's son who rebelled against his father in 1606 and was ultimately blinded on his father's instructions?
Khusrau.
Correct. What's the meaning of the title Nur Jahan, by which Mehrun-Issa, Jahangir's most favoured wife, is generally known?
Light of the world.
Yes, after the Battle of Kahnua, which Rajput stronghold was captured amid great slaughter by Babur in 1528?
Chittor.
Chanderi. From which Bengali trading post did Shah Jahan expel the Portuguese in the early 1630s?
Hooghly.
Correct. Who was the author of the Akbar Nama, the official chronicle of Akbar's reign?
Abul Fazl.
Correct. In which modern city is the tomb of Humayun located?
Delhi.
Yes. From which Portuguese colony did a Jesuit mission, including Father Montserrat, provide instruction in Christianity to Akbar?
Surat.
Goa. The commander of which fortress, captured in 1568 after a siege, was Akbar reputed to have killed with a musket shot?
Chittor.
Correct. Which Shia acted as regent for Akbar during his minority following the death of Humayun in 1556?
Bahram Khan.
Correct. What was the name of the Hindu ascetic who Jahangir visited in his narrow, dark cave cut in a hillside near Ujjain?
Myanmar.
Jadrup. Which African-born commander of Ahmadnagar fought numerous campaigns against the forces of Jahangir and formed an alliance with the future Shah Jahan?
Malik Amber.
Correct. Which Sufi mystic, whose tomb was built in Fatehpur Sikri, met Akbar on several occasions to discuss matters of religion and spirituality?
Salim Kishti.
Correct. How did Humayun die while hurrying to observe the Muezzin's call to prayer?
He fell down some stairs.
He fell down the steps of his library, yes. Tim Austin, no passes, 14 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Derek Moody,
And your occupation?
production manager.
And your specialist subject?
I, Claudius.
I, Claudius. 2 minutes, starting now. What is the name of Claudius's much-loved brother who dies after Tiberius becomes emperor?
Germanicus.
Correct. In Claudius the God, what does Claudius find under Caligula's pillow after he's been assassinated and later burned?
A book of death.
Yes, 2 books. What falls from the claws of an eagle and is caught by Claudius when he's a child?
A wolf cub.
Correct. In the book, who does Augustus name as his successor by giving him his signet ring when he is weak with sickness in 23 BC?
Marcus Agrippa.
Correct. On which island does Tiberius live for most of the last 5 years of his reign?
Capri.
Correct. Which actor played Castor in the television series?
Sam Daster.
Kevin McNally. In the book, who via an old soldier sends Claudius a message that he was still fishing, but that a man couldn't live wholly on fish?
Posthumus.
Correct. At the wedding of Claudius and Messalina in the television series, which so-called senator does Caligula invite to find himself a place?
Incitatus.
Correct. In Claudius the God, with what is Caligula's obelisk ship filled in order to make it sink into the harbour at Ostia?
Cement powder.
Yes. What do Livia and Martina agree is the antidote to aconite or wolfsbane when they discuss this in the television series?
Morphine.
Correct. In the book, which gladiatorial champion's successful defeat of a German swordsman does Claudius miss because he faints?
Cassius Chaerea.
Correct. What does the man called the Tiger do just before the funeral pyre of Cassius and Lupus is lighted in Claudius the God?
Kills himself.
He does. In the television series, which Shakespearean actor plays Tiberius's trusted friend Sejanus, who is brutally murdered along with his family?
Patrick Stewart.
Correct. Which country is invaded by forces under the command of Aulus Plautius in Claudius the God?
Britain.
Yes. In the television series, when Caligula returns from Germany, what does he show to the Senate as plunder obtained from defeating Neptune?
Seashells.
Yes. In the episode Hail Who, what gift does Claudius receive from Herod Agrippa?
3 dice.
Yes, in the television series, whose voice is heard talking as Augustus dies in his bed?
Livia.
Yes, in the book during the Rhine Mutiny, how did Claudius account for the disappearance of the money he'd secretly sent to Germanicus?
He lost at gambling.
He did. In the television series, in which room do Agrippinilla and Nero look for Claudius's will after he dies?
Claudius's study.
Indeed. No passes. Derek Moody, 18 points. And our final contender, please. Your name is?
Mary Dixon.
Your occupation?
I'm a website founder.
And your chosen subject?
The Just William books of Richmal, Crompton.
Just William in 2 minutes, starting now. Which homemade drink do the outlaws provide at the knit club that they organise in the old barn?
licorice water,
Correct. According to William, who conquered the Italians in Africa, was solely responsible for the sinking of the Bismarck and captured Rudolf Hess?
Robert,
Yes, his brother. William makes what resolution in the story William's New Year's Day, although it only lasts for a morning?
to be polite,
Correct. What is the occupation of Mr. Heffelback, who, thanks to William's exploits, is a regular visitor to the Browns' house?
he's a glazier,
He is. In William in Trouble, what's the name of the fairy that William dresses up as to help out a small girl?
daffodil,
Yes, what is the title of the lecture that Mr. Chance mistakenly gives to the Marley Temperance Society in William and the Young Man?
drinking songs of Britain,
Correct. To the manufacture of which substance does Violet Elizabeth's father, Mr. Bott, owe his fortune?
digestive sauce,
Yes, in Just William's Luck, what variety of flowers does William rescue from the rubbish heap to make a bouquet for Gloria Gay?
forget-me-nots,
Yes, what is the name of the large girls' school on the outskirts of William's village where Miss Golightly is the headmistress?
Rosemount,
Correct. In Chapter 1 of More William, what motto does William decide is just a wicked old story?
pass,
In Sweet William, the outlaws invent which saint's day on which everyone could have as many fights as they wanted to?
St Mars,
Yes, in William again, what is the name of a little girl whose father sweeps chimneys, making William ashamed that his father merely catches a train to London every morning?
Eglantine,
Yes, the outlaws are desperate to join which wartime organisation, led locally by Section Officer Perkins, in William Does His Bit?
AFS,
Yes, in which story, dropped from modern editions of William the Detective, does William call himself him Hitler because Herr Hitler sounds like a girl?
William and the Nasties,
Yes, what career is William training his dog for before it becomes part of a clown's act in Jumble Finds a Career?
police dog,
Yes, what is the name of the sweet shop owner who in one story leaves William in charge of his shop?
Mr Moss,
Mr. Moss it is. You had just the one pass. That motto, a busy day is a happy day. He did not approve of that. One pass, Mary Dixon, 15 points. That brings us to the end of our first round, so let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place with 12 points, James Hart. In third place with 14 points, Tim Austen. Second place with 15 points, Mary Dixon. First place with 18 points, Derek Moody. Let's see if the scores will stay high. Moving on to our general knowledge round now. And if there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes will be taken into account. So let's get on with it. And let me ask James Hart to join us again, please. And you are intrigued by President Lyndon B. Johnson, who appeared to be a bit of a sort of rather thuggish, gun-toting Texan, but in fact, quite the opposite in his political life.
Indeed, probably one of the most progressive presidents of the 20th century, second probably only to FDR, and before he became president as well, had followed some progressive trends, so it isn't simply an inheritance of the Kennedy legacy.
And yet, if you ask a lot of people who didn't live in America throughout those years, they would say, wasn't he the guy who took America deep into the Vietnam War, which is a terrible injustice in a sense?
It is, although it's probably fair to say, like most progressive politicians, it was mishandling of foreign policy that became his legacy. It is an interesting question to ask as to whether Kennedy would have kept America in Vietnam for quite as long and have dug himself quite as deep.
Well, you've scored 12 points with your knowledge of LBJ. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which London arts and theatre complex, which opened in 1982, is named after a watchtower on the old city walls?
Barbican.
Correct. Who in a speech about immigration delivered in Birmingham in April 1968 said, "Like the Roman, I see the river Tiber foaming with much blood"?
Enoch Powell.
Yes, what name was given to the hypothetical planet thought at one time to be even closer to the sun than Mercury?
Pass.
Casinos, bingo halls and which other establishments became legal as a result of the 1960 Betting and Gaming Act?
Pass.
Which of Henry VIII's wives was the mother of Queen Elizabeth I?
Anne Boleyn.
Yes. Ranunculus repens is the creeping form of which common wildflower dreaded by gardeners and farmers because it spreads so quickly?
Pass.
Which corporation is responsible for lighthouses and light vessels in England and Wales?
Commissioner of Lights.
Trinity House. What name is given in Scotland at the celebrations that take place on St Sylvester's night?
Christmas Eve.
Hogmanay. Which general gave his name to a leather belt with a strap passing from the left side up and over the right shoulder?
Pass.
In Indian cookery, what name is given to clarified butter made by simmering off all the liquid?
Ghee.
Yes. Which jazz musician's trademarks were his upturned trumpet and his puffed-out hamster-like cheeks?
Louis Armstrong.
Dizzy Gillespie. The Cheviot Hills lie along the northern edge of which national park?
Peak District.
Northumberland. Which literary character was the most famous prisoner of the Chateau d'If?
Pass.
The race leader in the Tour de France wears the yellow jersey, but what colour jersey does the leader in the Giro d'Italia wear?
Red.
Pink. What do the initials DC stand for in the context of an electrical circuit?
Pass.
Which composer's Third Symphony is nicknamed the Polish because its finale is in Polonaise rhythm?
Pass.
What nationality is fashion model and designer Elle Macpherson?
Australian.
Correct. Which bay, the drowned mouth of the Susquehanna River, is the largest inlet on the Atlantic coast of America?
Hudson.
The Chesapeake. You had 7 passes. Tchaikovsky was the conductor we were looking for. DC stands for direct current. The Count of Monte Cristo was imprisoned in the Chateau d'If. The Sam Brown belt is the one that you were trying to think of there. The Buttercup is the wildflower that so many people dread. The establishments that became legal as a result of the Betting and Gaming Act was the bookies. And Vulcan was the name given to the hypothetical planet thought to be even closer to the Sun than Mercury. James Hart, 7 passes. You've a total now of 17 points. And now Tim Austen, please. And you are a law student who's been studying the Mughal Empire. A great empire. You're very impressed with it.
Absolutely. I mean, it started with Babur, who was really a tribesman from somewhere in Central Asia.
So just to be clear, it was the Indian subcontinent, what we now call Pakistan
right.
and India, the Indian subcontinent.
Exactly. And he conquered in 1526 and led on to all sorts of great emperors who pretty much hit every extreme possible in terms of wealth, organisation, taxation, cruelty.
And at the same time spreading art and culture and architecture.
Well, Jahangir and Shah Jahan in particular were, you could say they bankrupted the empire, or they at least started this sort of gradual diminishment of the fortunes of the empire. Shah Jahan, of course, built the Taj Mahal, one of the most beautiful buildings ever built, and many other tombs and buildings were constructed in his reign.
Well, you scored 14 points with your knowledge of the Mughal Empire. Let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which Manchester-born painter said of himself, "I'm a simple man and I use simple materials"?
Ellis Lowry?
Yes. From the juice of which fruit is the brandy Calvados normally distilled?
Apples.
Yes. Which metal was first introduced to the public at the Paris Exposition of 1855, when it first became available, albeit in small amounts and at great expense?
Platinum.
Aluminium. Emma Tennant's 1993 book Pemberley is a sequel to which Jane Austen novel?
Northanger Abbey.
Pride and Prejudice. In which London cemetery are Karl Marx, George Eliot and Sir Ralph Richardson buried?
Highgate.
Yes. The pasta orecchiette takes its name from which part of the human body because of its shape?
The ears.
Yes. In which mountain range is Aconcagua at about 22,830 feet, the highest peak?
The Andes.
Yes. In the novel and film The Godfather, what did producer Jack Woltz find in his bed?
Horse's Head.
Yes. Which French soldier founded the settlement which became the city of Detroit and had a luxury car named after him?
Cadillac.
Correct. Opened in 1837. Which was the first London mainline railway terminus?
Victoria.
Euston. Britain's oldest medical journal is named after which sharp instrument used by surgeons?
Lancet.
Yes. In which British city is there a statue of a dog called Greyfriars Bobby, who for 14 years watched over his master's grave?
Norwich.
Edinburgh. What is the most southerly of the historical provinces of Portugal, corresponding to the modern administrative district of Faro and now a popular tourist area?
Algarve.
Yes. On what date is All Souls' Day commemorated in the Roman Catholic Church?
1st of November.
Second, the cover of which Welsh group's first album, Fuzzy Logic, featured pictures of international drug smuggler Howard Marks?
Superfurry animals.
Yes, who in the Bible said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" after being challenged by God to account for his brother's whereabouts?
Pass.
In which game are the terms cannon, winning hazard and losing hazard used?
Billiards.
Yes. What was Benjamin Britten's first stage work, written in 1945 and set in a Suffolk fishing village?
Billy Budd.
Peter Grimes. Which member of Tony Blair's cabinet was president of the National Union of Students from 1969 to 71?
Peter Hain.
Jack Straw. One pass. It was Kane who said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" One pass, Tim Austin, a total of 25 points.
Thanks.
And now Mary Dixon, please. And you suffer, Mary, from MS.
Yeah.
For how long?
Oh, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. It's just about making the best of it, you know. And trying to do something useful with your life.
And what you're trying to do useful is, well, you have done it. You're not trying to do it.
Yeah.
You've founded a website.
Website listing pubs and restaurants with disabled facilities must include a loo, disabled loo. And that list didn't exist before, really, nationally.
And you're able, of course, to go to the pub and say, "I'm doing it as part of my research."
Well, yeah, I suppose so. That's an excuse to go to the pub.
There are many, many more places now with...
Yes, but not enough. We shouldn't have to do this. It should be taken as read that you have a loo and have access to every pub and restaurant, surely. That's why I started Your Level Best.
Well, you scored 15 points with your knowledge
Yeah.
of the Just William books. Let's try you out on general knowledge now. 2 minutes, starting now. Which talking horse was owned by the architect Wilbur Post in a 1960s television series?
Mr. Ed.
Yes, to which position in Bill Clinton's cabinet was Madeleine Albright appointed in 1996, the first woman ever to hold the post?
Secretary of State?
Yes, the amount of tax paid on a pack of playing cards was shown in the design on which card from 1765 onwards?
Pass.
In which sport do Oxford and Cambridge universities compete for the Bowring Bowl each December?
Rugby.
Yes, which mime artist was the only person to speak in Mel Brooks' silent movie?
Marcello Mastroianni?
Marcel Marceau. What word from the Greek for seeing with one's own eyes is often used for a post-mortem examination?
Pass.
Which museum was founded in 1753, initially to house the collection of Hans Sloane?
Pass.
The foundation of which country's wine industry is said to have begun when Johann Gramp planted a vineyard in the Barossa Valley in the 1840s?
Pass.
Which 18th century hymn writer's works include "Jesu, Lover of My Soul" and "Hark the Herald Angels Sing"?
Wesley?
Which one?
John Wesley.
Charles. Which African country has a coastline on both the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea?
Pass.
What is formed in the process known as ossification?
Bone.
Yes, under which Babylonian king were the Jews forced into exile into Babylonia in about 586 BC?
Darius?
Nebuchadnezzar. Which vegetables are always included in a dish described as lyonnaise?
Potatoes.
Onions. In which Charles Dickens novel is the establishment mentioned in the title taken over by the hideous dwarf Daniel Quilp?
Bleak House.
The Old Curiosity Shop. What name is used for the club-shaped implement used for grinding or crushing, especially with a mortar?
Pestle.
Yes. Which Bishop of Exeter and Protestant reformer translated the first complete Bible to be printed in English?
Wycliffe.
Coverdale. What name do Germans usually give to an earthenware beer mug with a hinged lid?
Stein.
Yes. You had 5 passes. The country with the coastline on both the Atlantic and the Mediterranean is Morocco. Australia is where Johann Gramp planted his vineyard. The British Museum was initially to house the collection of Hans Sloane, the Greek word for seeing with one's own eyes, autopsy. And it was the Ace of Spades, the card in question. 5 passes, Mary Dixon, 21 points. Finally, Derek Moody, please. Well, you were in the lead at the end of the first round with your knowledge of I, Claudius. There was said to be some sort of curse surrounding the...
Yeah, originally Alexander Korda was making a film in 1937, and filming was eventually stopped after Merle Oberon had a car accident and she had to pull out filming, and that ended the film. But actually with the television series, the producer, Martin Lismore, died shortly afterwards in a car accident. The writer, Jack Pullman, died 3 months later of a heart attack after being shown. And one of the extras died in the closing show party by choking to death. So
Yes.
every time it's been shown on television, there's always been a problem.
The curse of Claudius.
Yes. So it's been nice knowing you, John.
Well, you scored 18 points, which is a very high score, but you have 25 points to beat. So let's see if you can do that with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which businessman set up the SkyTrain project in 1977, enabling people to fly from Gatwick to New York for £59 on a no-frills service?
Freddie Laker.
Yes, the alloy brass consists mainly of copper and which other metal?
Tin.
Zinc. Which American author wrote the novel The Prince and the Pauper, first published in 1882?
Mark Twain.
Correct. What's the name of the principal port on the delta of the River Volga, 60 miles from the Caspian Sea?
Odessa.
Astrakhan. Which internal organs of an animal are called lights in the butchery trade?
Kidneys.
Lungs. Who founded the American Institute of Public Opinion in 1935, evolving the polls for testing public opinion that bear his name?
Murray.
Gallup. Which World War II bomber was developed from the unsuccessful Manchester bomber?
Lancaster.
Yes. From whom did Alex Salmond regain the leadership of the Scottish Nationalist Party in September 2004?
Pass.
Which artist painted the Last Supper between 1495 and 1498 in the refectory of the Church of Santa Maria delle Grazie?
Da Vinci.
Yes. Used on board ship, mushroom, Danforth and stockless are types of what?
Rope.
Anchor. Who starred as the Reverend Mervyn Newt, the bumbling chaplain at St Og's Cathedral in the comedy series All Gas and Gaiters?
Derek Nimmo.
Correct. Which 18th century Swedish botanist established the principles for naming and classifying plants and animals?
Lindus.
Linnaeus. Which British fashion designer received the OB in June '66 for her worldwide influence on fashion?
Murray Quant.
Yes, the heroine of which Gilbert and Sullivan operetta was banished to the bottom of a pond for marrying a mortal?
Iolanthe.
Yes, which showman died on Halloween 1926 from peritonitis after receiving a punch in the stomach for which he was unprepared?
Harry Houdini.
Yes, who was nominated for a Best Actor Oscar for his role which German golfer became only the second European winner of the US Masters?
Bernard Langer.
Correct. In which English county does Piddle Trentide lie northwest of Puddletown Down?
Dorset.
Dorset is correct. You had one pass, Derek Moody. It was John Swinney, from whom Alex Salmond regained the leadership of the party. You have 29 points. So, at the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores. In fourth place with 17 points, James Hart. In third place with 21 points, Mary Dixon. Second place with 25 points, Tim Austen. And in first place, he held his lead with 29 points, is Derek Moody. Which means, of course, that he goes through to the next round. Congratulations, Derek Moody. Join us, please, next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Revealing a new side to Henry VIII's right-hand man, the rise and fall, Thomas Cromwell, is tonight at 9. Technically Speaking next on BBC Two. It's the Great British Bake Off Masterclass.